Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Skincare Masterclass for 2026. We're really pleased that you can join us. So welcome to all of you. We're very pleased you've taken your time to join us this afternoon. So these are your hosts of today. We're very, very pleased to have Smita Ahluwalia. She's actually an award-winning facialist, and we are super pleased that she can join us today. So welcome, Smita.
Thank you, Esther. I'm very excited to be here.
Yeah,
and thank you, everyone, for joining.
Yes. Smita, actually, you can see all her amazing credentials there. She's actually an owner of a clinic called Smita London, and she actually works with LPG endermologie and the treatments, doing the treatments with the products. So she'll share a wealth of knowledge with you today. So I look forward to that. Of course, my name is Esther Simon. I'm the trainer for LPG. So what are we doing today? What are we looking at today? Really, we're thinking about post-holiday. It doesn't have to be holiday. It can be any time we go through a state of imbalance in our bodies, and what that sort of reaction of that imbalance can be. So we're thinking about inflammation from maybe overeating or alcohol, too much alcohol, dehydration from caffeine. How do we our sluggish circulation from lack of exercise, poor nutrition, low energy, our routine being disrupted. So we will be looking at all these categories. But before we go on to doing that, just to let you know, we'll be recording today's session, and we will be uploading this on LPG for you and on YouTube as well. So just to let you know that as well. If you can mute your microphones, we'd appreciate that. And also, we should hopefully have time to have a question and answer time, Q&A time at the end. And you can also use your chat boxes to put any of your questions in as well. So thank you, lovely. I'm going to hand it over to you, Smita.
Thank you so much. Hello, everybody, and thanks again for joining. Really excited to be here because I've been working with endermologie for a while now, and I have found working with the skincare as well as the treatments gives 50% better results. I can't tell you how excited I am about the products because they're very clean anyway, and they also have such amazing ingredients which work really well even post treatment, when my clients take them home and they use them and they are really, really happy with the results. So that I will be talking a bit about that, but also what we'll be talking about is post-holiday skin. So this could be any holiday where clients have really got out of their habits, they've got out of their routines, and especially after Christmas, where we kind of indulge, we give ourselves an excuse to indulge, really. So what happens post-holiday skin? Well, I think we notice that the skin becomes a lot more drier, dull, and very dehydrated. And the dehydration is really caused by the fact that we're not sleeping as well, maybe probably going to bed very, very late and getting up that bit earlier. Our foods choices are not as they were before Christmas in terms of heavier, oilier, lots of salts. And I find that I want to try foods that I wouldn't generally try because I'm treating myself, right? We all do that. So we drink a lot more alcohol and, like I said, more saltier foods. So this is going to cause inflammation in our bodies. It's going to cause inflammation on our skin and in our bodies. Next slide, please. So what happens? We get inflammation from food and alcohol post holidays. Our skin becomes that bit duller. Because why does it become dull? Well, we're not getting the right nutrients into our skin, and we're probably being quite lazy with our skin as well. Our skin's becoming that bit, like not being looked after. That's what I would say. We're not really spending the time on it. Dehydration is caused by alcohol, lots of caffeine beverages. The heating's on. We're snuggled at home. We don't want to go out post, definitely during the holidays, we think, oh yes, I'm going to be in my PJs all day. So you're drinking lots of hot beverages, which is not really hydrating your skin. Low energy can be because you're going to bed very late, you are in that kind of slothy mood, not bothering to exercise as much because you're giving yourself a break. And fair enough, that's what we need to do. We do need to sometimes just give ourselves a bit of time. But with the low energy, we get low energy because we've got that sluggishness and our circulation becomes sluggish. And then we've also got a disrupted routine because we're not used to our everyday going into the office or going to work. We're not, kids going to school. We're in a completely different routine. And it's really hard to get back into that routine after Christmas and New Year. And this is the good time for clients to get back into their routine now because kids are back at school. They've had their bit of, time out and now they're ready to go. So this is a premium time for you to get your clients back into looking after themselves. So what do we see on our skins from, what do we notice? We have inflammation from food and alcohol, like I said. The one thing that I always notice when clients haven't been looking after themselves as well as they should is a compromised skin barrier. I don't know if everyone knows what that means, but the skin becomes a lot more sensitive. We have like a top layer of our skin, which is really protecting our skin from the environment, from that free radical damage. And if that barrier is impaired, and we need to then think about repairing it. And the reason we know it's impaired, generally because the skin becomes a little bit more red, bit more irritated, more dry, dehydrated, that tight feeling where the skin is just not happy with anything that you put on it. Even the most simplest products can irritate that skin. So we need to be thinking about repairing that skin barrier when this happens. And we also can see it may not just be sensitive, we might see some breakouts as well. Now, this is what we see on the skin, especially on the face, but on the body, we may see some different types of inflammation. We might notice that the circulation is much more sluggish, the lymphatic system is not working as well, and the client is definitely has a real low energy and they just can't get themselves out of it. So we are seeing inflammation from our diet, from too much alcohol, not really caring about ourselves in the way that we should be. So, how does food and alcohol create inflammation? Well, I don't know if any of you have heard of glycation. Glycation, we see it on the skin where we get those like crisscross lines on the skin. That's because we've been having too much glucose in our body. Glucose basically causes free radical damage, oxidative stress on our bodies, and we start to see more lines and wrinkles, and our skin just becomes more kind of the elasticity starts to go because what we've got is toxic sugar. And what toxic sugar does is it basically gets those fibers, collagen fibers, becoming a lot more weaker. And when that happens, we get a lot of problems with our skin. We get lines and wrinkles and we get the weakened collagen. We also see dehydration and from alcohol, from loads of sugar and teas. And then, of course, that causes puffiness, especially around the eye area, and our skin barrier is impaired, like I said before. Okay, so how food and alcohol create inflammation? Well, I think you probably know about the gut and the relationship between the gut and the skin. And so if our gut microbiome is not working like it should, then it really does affect our skin. So we get a lot of water retention from the meals that we're eating, especially if we're eating kind of more salty foods. There's swelling in our faces, puffiness around the eyes, and definitely some bloating around around the stomach area, because our digestive system is not working like it should. And then we also go through digestive stress as well. People don't know that, you know, when you are overeating or overindulging, your microbiome is not working like it should. You might have a lot more gas, more bloating, and you just like look at your tummy and you think, wow, have I put on weight, or is it just a lot of wind? So you do see that. And then, of course, lack of sleep also really causes inflammation. Like I said before, your cortisol levels start to lower because you're not sleeping like you should. And this also happens with menopause. When you're, I mean, I'm sure a lot of you have found this. When you are, you know, not sleeping well, it really, really shows up on your skin, and your skin definitely becomes a lot more sensitive and inflamed. So inflammation can look like anything. We've talked about puffiness. We've talked about, you know, what we see on the skin, yeah, and like dark circles, etc., sensitivity, impaired skin barrier. But on the body, it might look different. We might see a lot more swelling, puffiness, that lymphatic sluggish, bloating, maybe joints are much more tight, and you know we feel like, gosh, we feel old, you know, we feel like everything aches, and definitely low energy, definitely fatigue.
Great. Thank you, Smita. So I'm going to talk a bit about the treatments now and what sort of treatments that can actually help these the inflammation in the body. But I just thought I'll actually put up a sort of a visual for you to see, because it's really important when you use your mechanical device, your LPG head, you know, where it works. So we just see the skin, but it has such an effect on the underlying structures. There's a great sort of cross section of the skin. So we have all these receptors that actually receive messages from the treatment head. So the mechanoreceptors are specialized sensory neurons that transmits messages into the central nervous system. So they are the key kind of receptors, and you have the neural ones, which actually, again, communicates within the central nervous system as the beginning of sort of the messages that are sent. Of course, we work much more surface and deep. We have an effect on the fascia, the muscle, even the bone. And we know when we look at the diagram on the right-hand side, we work on the autonomic nervous system. You know, if you do the Vitality Stress Sleep Protocol, which is an incredibly a sort of a profound treatment, if I'm honest, very comprehensive treatment. When we work on the spine, all the nerves are connected to all the organs. So, you know, when we talk about inflammation and we are thinking about your cortisol being very high, you know, we have an impact on the adrenal glands. So that's going to bring down the cortisol levels. You know, we bring up circulation, so and lymphatics, you know, to drain excess fluids. We work on the kidneys. The digestion has an impact. So I will talk a lot about the same kind of treatments when we go through the slides, but each will have an impact on the symptoms that we speak of. So if I show you the kind of benefits of LPG treatments, you know, these are the benefits. We're going to actually reduce the bloating. Smita spoke a lot about how we, you know, from some sort of fatty foods and sugary foods, salty foods, we have a lot of gas and excess fluids in the tissue. So we're going to reduce that by doing the LPG protocols, concentrating around that pelvic and the belly area. I love this because we do reset the system, especially with the Vitality Stress Sleep Protocol. So we really are resetting that button. You know, it's a bit like putting a new code in. And of course, when we do eat, although we don't really put on fat within those few weeks of maybe a disrupted routine, we may put on a little bit, maybe a pound or two. It's more water than fat, but we still want to work on those areas where, you know, we hold more stubborn fat, maybe like the belly or the sides or the hips. So when your client comes in, you still want to do those areas as well and concentrate on those areas. We know this, we increase blood circulation. That's the key to actually any sort of problems, you know, wherever you are, you want to increase that blood circulation overall to get everything moving around and, you know, getting all that oxygen into the system and the skin as well. And of course, we will renew and hydrate the skin. So of course, when your client comes in, when whatever treatment you are going to recommend, you have to do the correct assessment. I think this is we need to do that to take a look at their lifestyle, their skin, their body, go through a thorough sort of consultation with them. And of course, the treatments we would recommend are the key treatments are your lymphatic drainage. So I've put down the names of the new machine, the Infinity and the Allianz. This is key to sort of getting all those excess fluids from the tissues to really, help them to feel lighter. You get that immediate sensation when you do this, even if it's one treatment. Of course, when they come in from holiday, any sort of disrupted, sort of their body is a bit swelled up, I would probably give them a little bit of a short course, maybe a course of 3, done in sort of succession, maybe 3 times a week if they can, or twice a week, or even once a week for 6 sessions. As I said to you before, the Vitality Stress Sleep is a key treatment. I will speak a little bit more about that. And of course, the target treatments. And you can do things like cellulite. These will all give them that sort of sense of lightness on their legs, and this general kind of circulation sensation as well. On the face, again, the same kind of principle. The treatments will be the lymphatic drainage, with the puffiness under the eyes, the puffy face, actually kind of contours the face as well. So they'll feel better. And yeah, the puffiness under the eyes works incredibly well. We do very sort of superficial drainage. On the body, the beauty of endermologie, it actually does sort of a deep and a superficial, unlike a manual lymphatic massage. So we really get that lymphatic moving around and pumping around. Hydration booster, I don't know if you've ever done this facial. It is such a key treatment to building up that kind of skin barrier. So we really sort of help the hydration from surface to deep on the skin and replump the skin, and your skin barrier will be sort of stronger over time with that. Skin renewal, I'll speak a little bit more about that as we go along, but this is actually the skin peel that we do using the mandelic acid and the glycolic. And we really get rid of sort of those surface dead skin to give your skin sort of a fresher look. So these are my recommendations. Yeah, the VSS, just to let you know, of course, is a 40-minute comprehensive protocol. It has various actions on the body, removes toxins, balances energies, works on the nervous, the circulatory, the muscular system as well. We work on the reflex zones using the feet, the small treatment head on the feet, or massage the feet. And this has a deep impact on hormones. So yeah, this is a wonderful protocol overall. Hydration booster is a 50-minute protocol. So again, this brings up hyaluronic acid. So we would love you to use the products with it, because you will see an incredible result with that. But it really does plump the appearance of the skin, smooths sort of any fine lines and wrinkles. Again, protect the skin from external, what Smita spoke about, aggressors, and slows down that skin aging as well. Great, Smita, it's over to you.
So there are some key products. Thank you so much, Esther. There are some key products that I really want to talk about, which will help, especially with inflammation. The first one is, we'll move on to that. It's called the Expert Cleansing Balm. Now, before I go into that, I wanted to just go back and just say that there's a little bit of history about the products. Well, not history, but just the main 3 ingredients. So all of the products contain this exclusive complex. So the exclusive complex is made up of marjoram, the crocus bulbs, and the hyaluronic acid, the low molecular weight hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid is really, really important because we lose 1% of hyaluronic acid in our skin as we age. So really from the age of like 25 upwards, we're losing collagen and we're losing hyaluronic acid. So our skin becomes more and more dehydrated. And of course, environmental factors dehydrate our skin. So we've talked about, alcohol, caffeinated beverages, but also central heating, air conditioning. You know, in the winter months, especially, it's been really cold. What do? We put on our blow heater in the car because we're freezing, and it's, you know, it's blowing right in our faces, and that's really dehydrating our skin. So the marjoram wakes up the fibroblasts. It really stimulates our collagen production. And then we've got the crocus bulbs, which really helps for the cells to communicate with each other. And again, helps with collagen and elastin production. So we've got two ingredients there that are working on collagen and elastin. And then we've got the hyaluronic acid. And you'll see these ingredients in most of the products. And then there are also some more, another complex as well, which is really, really important, but we'll talk about that later. So let's move on to what the cleanser is. I absolutely cannot tell you how much I love this cleanser. This is called the Expert Cleansing Balm, and the texture is really creamy. It's like a balm. You don't need a lot because it's got primrose oil and shea butter. And as you know, shea butter is really soothing, and primrose oil is an anti-aging ingredient. Plus, we've got the hyaluronic acid in there, we've got the marjoram, and we've got the cocos bulb. So if you are somebody who's got an inflamed skin, this is the kind of product you want to be using, because you don't want to strip your skin with a foaming type of cleanser. You want something that is going to really get rid of your makeup if you're wearing any, but calm and soothe down that redness. And that's exactly what shea butter will do. It's soothing. It's good for anybody who's got any dry skin, anything which is dehydrated, and it removes makeup and eye makeup as well. And so it doesn't leave your skin feeling tight, which is what we want. Then in terms of exfoliation, now when the skin barrier is slightly impaired, you don't want to go mad with the exfoliation, because it is important to exfoliate, but I wouldn't be thinking about using retinols or really, really deep exfoliators. You want to be using something which is going to be a bit more gentle. And that would be something like the exfoliating silky powder. It's a powder, and you mix it with water, and then you can actually apply it to the skin with a brush and actually do some massage movements with a brush, taking it back and forth around the skin. Now, it contains exfoliating properties like some alpha hydroxy acids, and it also we know what alpha hydroxy acids do. It stimulates cell renewal. But like I said, it's going to be much better for a sensitive skin. They do have stronger exfoliators, ones which are more granular. But if your skin is that bit sensitive after the holidays, you will find that this will work really well. And it really does even out your skin tone and makes you look that bit brighter. So definitely one to recommend. And I was going to say just quickly that you could even use this in your treatment. So you can be using your cleansing balm in the treatment. And if your client's skin is so sensitive, but you do want to exfoliate, you can definitely use the silky powder, exfoliating silky powder. And then the post-care collagen mask, you can actually buy this yourselves. It can be sold professionally, but you can actually sell them to your clients. It's full of hyaluronic acid, as we know. We know that hyaluronic acid is going to hydrate the skin. It's got licorice extract in it, which is tightening. And we've got some centella I can't pronounce it, asiatica.
Asiatica.
Yeah, and that has a regenerating, helps regenerate. When you put this hydrating mask on, it's so beautiful. There are so many masks out there, and I've used a lot of them, but I really love the sheets, because they're biocellulose, which means that they are able to give a much more intense hydration. Even when I take it off after 10 minutes, the skin is still wet with the product on it, and I just massage it into the skin. So again, it's going to really help with dehydrated skin, with dry skin, with a compromised skin barrier. One that you can sell to your clients post-treatment. They can take it home and use it once a week after they've exfoliated at home, and you can also use it in your treatment. The moisturizer that I would really recommend is the anti-aging renewal cream. Now, this is I probably this is probably the moisturizer that I sell the most. Even post-treatment, even after a peel, even after micro needling, you can use this product because, like I said, the products are very clean and they're gentle but effective. So this not only contains the exclusive complex, but it also contains the premium complex, 16% of the premium complex, which has been patented, and it's got basically two patented peptides and also which really help boost collagen and elastin. Really had good results with it. Use this in my treatment and my clients take it home with them, and really is a nourishing but calming product, very anti-aging, really helps with the skin texture, and I would call it an anti-wrinkle moisturizer. Like I said, 16% of this premium complex, so a really good one to use at home. It also has ceramides in it, which, as we know, we really need when we've got that barrier, that impaired barrier. And then we always have to use SPF post and all the time, not even just post treatment. We all need to be using SPF, and when that barrier is impaired, especially, we need to be using an SPF. Now, this SPF is really special because there are, the blue lights that are coming, through the computers, etc., and we need to protect our skin from that. And this is a formulation that does this. So this is known as the Cellular Defense UV Plus fluid. It's an SPF 50, and it protects us against UVA, which are the aging rays, and UVB, which are the burning rays. So we know that UVB is from sunlight and UVA is there all the time. That's what causes our skin to age. But then on top of that, it's got niacinamide in it, which is going to really help with brightening the skin, but it's also soothing. We know with an impaired skin barrier, we need that vitamin B3 to help the skin. It's basically protects our skin from free radical damage, and like I said, it helps protect us against the blue light, and it's known as a natural anti-exposome shield. So when you're in front of your computer like today, you want to be using that to protect your skin. It's quite lightweight. I really like it because it makes me look like I've got kind of that glass skin when I use it. I find that I get a really lovely glow with it. Do you find that, Esther? Yeah,
Yeah,
it's really nice.
definitely. Lovely glow and
Yeah.
sheen, but not
Yeah.
sticky. Mm,
Yeah, and it's not
mm,
sticky at all. And
yeah.
also on a skin like we've got darker skin,
Mm,
it's not very easy to find
mm.
products which, an SPF which is going to look good on any skin tone, and this one definitely does.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know if anyone knows a lot about, collagen, but collagen is, well, we know that we're losing collagen from the age of 25. We basically lose 1% of collagen per year. And when we're going through menopause, so in your like 40s, 50s, you are going through activated collagen loss, which means that you are losing double the amount of collagen. So if you think from 25 to 40 years old, you've already lost 15% of collagen. And say you go into menopause at, I don't know, 45, you then would have lost 20% plus you're doubling it. So about 40% of collagen. So it's really important to be thinking about taking collagen. And there are lots of collagens out there. This particular one that LPG does is a marine collagen, which really helps with basically type 1 collagen, which is your hair, nails, and skin. It's sugar-free, fat-free. It's got a really lovely taste to it. And what they've seen is that within 28 days, there is a wrinkle reduction of 19%. So you can mix it with water, you can mix it with, you can put it in your juices or in your yogurt. I don't tend to recommend to use it in a hot beverage like a coffee, just because coffee is a diuretic and you will just probably pee it out basically. So I recommend you to have it in more of a cold drink if you can. And then omegas, when our skin's really dry, it's not just thinking about the surface of the skin. You need to be thinking about the internals, internally, what can you be helping? What we need these essential lipids for our skin, for our barrier. So what I really love about the omegas that LPG do is that they contain 3, 6, and 9. And the omega-3 really helps with calming the skin down, with your kind of dehydration, with your inflammation. And omega-6 really helps with repairing the skin, and omega-9 is nourishing. So you've got a combination of all of them, a cocktail of these omegas, which really work synergistically together. And if you are finding that your clients are seeing like any swelling, or, like we said, that inflammation isn't just on the face, it's on the body too. And we see it in terms of swelling, maybe dehydration as well, but also that, our blood circulation isn't working like it should, and our lymphatic system is therefore not working as it should. They could be taking a draining concentrate. You can even offer this to your clients, post treatment, so that I wouldn't do it before the treatment, only because they'll probably need to go to the toilet, but after the treatment you can offer them this lovely draining concentrate to really help with this product working, or ingredients working really well with the endermologie treatment. And it's got hibiscus, which reduces the sensation of heavy legs. It's got nettle leaves, which really gets that venous circulation going. And also, if you're improving your blood circulation, you're improving your lymphatic system as well. And then grape mark, which reduces water retention. And you can see that these ingredients are natural. You're not putting anything artificial in your body, which is and it doesn't taste bad either. You've got a black currant taste, and I actually warm up my water and give it to them, and so it feels like a really soothing drink afterwards. And then there's a slimming tea. I did an event and actually gave clients the slimming tea to take, and they really, really loved it. I haven't actually tried it. I need to try it.
It's quite a mild taste.
Yeah,
very
which
pleasant.
is which is exactly what you want. And this is something that will really complement the endermologie treatment. You've got green tea in it, as we know, that's an antioxidant, and it also helps, not suppress the appetite, but curb it down. It's got elderberry in it, which really helps with, supporting the slimming. Nettle and ash, which is a diuretic, so don't have it with coffee because you'll be on the toilet the whole time. And then last of all, the vitality booster, which is really going to help reduce the fatigue. It means that you're going to feel alive. And we do get that, especially in the afternoon when you get that sluggish feeling. This vitality booster is a real pickup, and it's really great because I find that, say I'm in the treatment room and then I'm starting to feel really sleepy, even if I've just had a quick snack, I just need to wake up. And this is a really good I found by taking these, it really just gives me a bit more rejuvenation, and I feel a lot more kind of alive now. So it's got brown algae, which really helps with the fat burning as well, and vitamin C and iron, which is really good for helping you fight the body, any kind of infection or anything. And it's just something that you can take as a natural kind of remedy, really, to help nourish your body.
Topic.
Right, so now we're talking about dehydration. So what we were saying, that we've got the inflammation that we get post holiday, but we also get dehydrated. We get dehydrated because we're lacking in water. We tend not to drink, as I say that, I better sip a glass. We tend to not drink water as much. I mean, it's the holidays, we're drinking, we're having teas and coffees to wake us up, So we are going to notice that our skins are going to be more dehydrated. Our skin is going to feel more tight. It's going to look like signs of premature aging. That's what you see with dehydration. When you press it, tiny fine lines come up, and the skin feels really tight. And also dehydration is because we're having foods which probably have a lot more salt than we're usually, accustomed to. So what does dehydration, what do we see? So alcohol, like I said, is a diuretic. And so when we're taking it, it reduces water levels in our skin. And then, of course, our skins become that bit more sensitive when we're having a lot more alcohol, and our skins become more vulnerable. Caffeine obviously dehydrates our skin. And then we've got the sugar and processed foods, which reduces the skin's ability to hold on to water. It causes glycation. The sugar causes glycation, and our skins go through oxidative stress. As I said, salts from food will cause the dehydration. Poor sleep. When we're not sleeping, our skin is not regenerating. And when our skin is not regenerating, it's not doing what it needs to be doing at night, which means our skin really looks more imbalanced, more dull, and definitely more sensitive. And of course, cold weather, heating, blow heaters, that's all going to dehydrate our skin. And people tend to not drink as much water in the winter. My big tip to people is drink hot water, because if you feel like you want a beverage which is warm, then go for the teas that LPG do, or just plain hot water. So what does dehydration look like on the skin? So I've said already that, it looks a bit like premature aging on the face. You start to see little lines, and your skin becomes really papery like. But you'll find that I notice it with clients where they might be wearing makeup and it's not sitting properly on the skin. You're seeing that it just doesn't, it's not smooth. And there might be some kind of darkness, especially around the eye area, where the skin is very, very thin and papery like. So you can see like fine lines and wrinkles there. And on the body, I find that if I use like a sauna or something, my skin really becomes quite itchy and dry. And that's because you are dehydrating the skin. Even though saunas are really good, you are dehydrating it because, it's warm heat. So you can, on the body, it can be very itchy and rough, but you can also, when you're dehydrated, you can see that the palms of your hands become very lined, and the hands get very, very dry. Your circulation starts to become more sluggish, you get more tired, and you can suffer from headaches as well. So I wanted to just quickly talk about something that LPG really have thought about when they've like put their skincare together. They really want to focus on low molecular hyaluronic acid. So we have high molecular hyaluronic acid and low molecular hyaluronic acid. Now, you'll see a lot of skincare companies have hyaluronic acid in them, but most of it is high molecular weight, and that's a much bigger molecule, and it sits on the surface of the skin. And I think it's comfortable, makes your skin really plump, and it's great. But it's not going to really work deep into the skin. And if you've got a product which LPG does have, their skincare contains high and low molecular weight, which means low molecular weight means that the molecule is much smaller and it goes deeper into the skin. So it's penetrating deeper into the lower levels of the skin. And that's where you get that long-term hydration. And we do need both. And if you do have a product which has both, you're going to get more of a long-term hydration, and you will see an immediate glow with that. So that's what I really love with LPG, that they've really thought about that. And they do a wonderful serum for dehydration, which contains both high and low molecular weight, which we're going to go on to.
Great, thank you, Smita. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about some treatments that may benefit the body and the skin, which will be dehydrated. So we know that dehydration is the skin sort of being, water being kind of pulled out of the system. So we want to kind of put back the water, the hydration. Of course, it's got to be internal. You have to be drinking lots of water, at least 1.5 to 2 liters per day. And of course, as Smita just said, if you're struggling with the water, have hot water. So yeah, you have to, adjust your diet and everything else to help. But of course, the treatments alongside will certainly help. And although we're talking about lymphatic drainage, and you think, oh, well, that's going to take water out, it's actually taking out the excessive fluids. So, once you get that kind of exchanges all activated and the circulation all, again, increased, you will find that everything, all the nutrients, all the oxygen will kind of flow across in your system. And same with the face, I've put it separately, but actually it is the same kind of thing. So you're wanting to do any of the endermologie treatments will still benefit. But of course, things like the draining detox, the fluid mobilization, we're talking about heaviness on legs. So if you have heaviness, even if you're dehydrated, this can be a sort of a symptom. And you're just activating the circulatory exchanges. I always keep coming back to the same treatments, the VSS. Again, this will work on the entire system. We're talking about sort of that, bloated again, or you're feeling your skin's lacking that kind of hydration. That's the sort of your skin feeling almost wrinkled, that premature aging. All that can still be done even with body treatments. It can still have an impact on the face. But of course, coming back to the face, the same kind of treatments, the hydration booster will be a perfect one that put back that barrier strength. Again, put back that hydration. We increase hyaluronic acid. Collagen will be sort of, strengthened and multiplied, I guess. We stop that collagenase process with LPG endermologie treatments, and we increase more collagen. So it's going to plump out the skin, bring back that hydration, and your client will feel better. So regular treatments we will always recommend. Get your clients on a course of treatments straight after the holiday. Like this period will be perfect. A course of 12 is amazing, and do it twice per week. And other treatments like the VSS, even one treatment can have a benefit. I did put down a treatment called endermopuncture, which is on the older machine, on the Allianz, and this is a great one to detox. Again, it gives you hormonal balance. Even the VSS, the Vitality Stress Sleep, does that as well. But yeah, you just want to get the clients on this kind of on a course of regular treatments. Yeah, that's it actually on me. That's the next bits for you, Smita.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing, isn't it? It's like trying to get them into a habit of having treatments, because they need to also be looking after themselves as well. They can't just be thinking about having the endermologie treatment and then not using the skincare, or not having a good diet. It comes together. And I always say that to my clients, you're not in the clinic with me every day. So it's what you do at home as well that really, really is important. And we have to keep reminding ourselves, because we're not magicians, and obviously we do have a magic machine, but it's not with the client every single day. So they have to help themselves too. So yeah, I was talking about the hyaluronic acid, and I said that LPG have a amazing hyaluronic acid. I have tried a lot of hyaluronic acids, and the oil and water replenishing serum really is just amazing. And it really, I actually give it to clients who may not even be that dehydrated, but who have a sensitive skin, because it really does calm that skin down. It's got, like we said before, the high molecular weight and the low molecular weight hyaluronic acid. So it sits on the surface and also penetrates deeper down. It's got the exclusive complex, which we've talked about, which hydrates and activates and stimulates. But it's got the wuzu berries, which really help with activating microcirculation. So just giving a bit more color to the client, getting the cells to work a little bit more effectively. It's got a white horehound, which we know is an antioxidant, and it's got the microalgae, which improves dehydration. So we have a great combination of ingredients, but this is one that is oil-free, so you can give it to an oily skin client as well as a dry, dehydrated skin. Because as we know, oily skins tend to be quite dehydrated. So it's not going to affect, it's, when clients have an oily skin, they don't want anything which is heavy on their skin. This is so lightweight and it feels very, very smooth. You've got to try this one. Yeah, helps with everything. So then there's the dynamic replenishing rich cream. Now they do LPG do two creams for dehydration. One is richer than the other one. So I'm talking about the rich cream. Obviously, if you've got an oily skin, you can just use the dynamic replenishing cream. It's got the exclusive complex again. It's got the berries, like we said, but this time this one's got shea butter in it because that will make it a bit more nourishing for the client. So it's a great one. If you have somebody who's got a combination skin, I would tend to use this cream, or if you've got an oilier skin, you could possibly use this at night. If you don't want to use it in the day, it's medium to lightweight, but it has a real melting texture to the skin, and it hydrates, plumps, and brightens the skin. Again, very good for skin sensitivity, anyone who has a compromised skin barrier from inflammation. The cryo massage balm, this is really good for, do you use this, Esther, pre-treatment?
I would use it post-treatment.
Okay.
Just like, to give a light legs, massage it just on the leg area, really.
Okay. And it really, because especially with somebody who's got that sluggish circulation, this is such a good one, isn't it? And it's really, because it feels really cold. They've got a mask like that. The cryo mask is the same. It's got like a real kind of icy cold feeling, and it feels a bit like they're going into a cryo bath or a cryo chamber.
It is cold.
Yeah. But that's going to really stimulate, and especially someone who's got that sluggish circulation, it really, really will, plump those legs up, get that circulation moving and the lymphatic system working as well.
Yeah, I sometimes use a little bit on the shoulder of the client when they have tense shoulders. A tiny bit, but just make sure you wash your hands.
Okay. Okay. It's a great one. So if the client is, dehydrated and you're finding that even though they've had the hydration booster treatment and they use the products, I mean, obviously they've got to be using the products for a good 6 weeks for them to see a difference. They can actually take hyaluronic acid. And what we've seen with this hyaluronic, with this satchel, it's not a vitamin, but what was I going to say?
Supplement, maybe.
Yeah, a supplement. Yeah, with this supplement, it's going to really increase hydration by 10%. So you don't need to have the skin boosters if you don't want. Just pop some of these supplements into your system, and that will really hydrate your skin, plump up your skin, smooth out those wrinkles.
Next topic, I think.
Yes, the next topic is sluggish circulation. So we now know that we can be using that cryo massage. I'm going to order that now, actually. So this is really, so what's happening here? We've got sluggish circulation really because of diet and poor exercise. We're not exercising enough. So, circulation is how blood and lymph carry oxygen and nutrients and waste around the body. Now we have a pump, a circulation, our body, our blood circulation has a pump, but we don't really have a pump for the lymphatic system. So if you're not moving around, you are not going to move that lymph. And so that's why we need to make sure that the clients are exercising a bit. And it can be really painful to have endermologie if they don't really exercise enough. So we have to go a lot lighter with our treatments before, to get that circulation working. But again, we could use that cryo balm as well to really increase that blood flow. We can also, what do we see, like what basically affects poor circulation is diet. And lots of sugar, salt, processed foods, and it kind of thickens that blood. We get more water retention as well, and we get increased inflammation. We will see on our face if a client has poor circulation. I notice a lot of people who've got like really dull grey skin. It's a bit like a tan that's going. And that's what it looks like. They, no matter what you do, they just don't look bright and well. So what I would recommend for that is really they need to exfoliate as well to really help with brightening the skin. But yeah, you see more dark circles and the skin's not really as firm. And then for the body, what you definitely see is poor circulation, cold hands and feet, a lot of water retention, cellulite, and their skin takes a longer time to recover. And they have generally that low energy when they've got poor circulation. So we talked about what products which really will help with the circulation. We said the cryo massage balm. We've got some other anti-cellulite treatments because obviously with poor circulation you've got a with poor circulation you've basically get more cellulite. So if we just go back to the product that I was gonna, yes, the peeling. So if we just talk about the peeling gel, which it's a peel basically. It's made up of glycolic acid and mandelic acid. So if a client looks to like they are quite dull, they're dehydrated, and they lack in glow, it's probably also because they're not exfoliating enough. So I tend to, whenever I do an LPG facial treatment, I tend to always do a peel after the treatment. So, you basically start off with the lymphatic drainage, get the circulation going, and then use the peel. And this is a 20% acid peel. It's very gentle, and I use it for everybody really, and you get such a glow. And you don't even have to, what's good about it, it doesn't need to be neutralized. You can just remove it with cleanser just to take it, just to make sure that it's completely off the skin. But I leave it on for anything between 5 and 10 minutes. It's so gentle that you can leave it for quite a long time. But yeah, anything between 5 and 10 minutes. But it depends on your client, obviously. If they're very sensitive, if they've got a really impaired skin barrier, I wouldn't necessarily try this peeling technology until they've exfoliated a bit with the powder, and then you can start with the peeling technology and then maybe use it for about 3 minutes, and then you can build it up. But really good one to use, and it just gives you that glow. And then I tend to use the mask afterwards, and you get a real brightening treatment with this. For the resurfacing, sorry.
Sorry, can I interrupt? Sorry, I've only just joined because I've been stuck in traffic.
No problem.
I just wanted to ask you, so if you use the peel right at the end and then put the mask on, can I ask you, do you do a steam as well before? Because normally I cleanse and normally I do a peel then. I do a peel and then I steam and then I extract and then I use the LPG. And then I do a massage as well, and then I put a mask on as well. So, but
I would do the LPG first.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to do questions at the end. Is that okay?
Yeah, hi, Maria. We'll be doing the questions at the end. Would you like to hold on for a few more minutes?
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem. So then for the glow research, so for example, if you're finding this, circulation is poor and the client has got a lot of dead layers, you can use the resurfacing body cream, which is hydrating as well as it takes the dead layers off because it's got alpha hydroxy acids in it. And then we talked about cellulite because obviously you do get cellulite if you've got poor circulation. They do a gel and a cream, and they also do a serum, and that really does help drain the toxins away. Really important to be using these products with your treatments because you're going to get 50% better results, like I said. So yeah, the serum is fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah,
and it's got brown algae. They both have got algae in it, but the serum is always that bit deeper. So let's talk about the treatments that you would recommend.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, thank you. So very similar treatments, of course, as we explained, because the client is not exercising, sluggish circulation. So you really want to, obviously, with the client getting back into exercise, you really want to sort of work overall, but mainly on target zones. So we would recommend like customized body treatments and really target those areas. So, maybe the tummy or the legs or generally upper body, if you can do it separately, and lower body separately, or even full body. Or you can do the cellulite protocols, which really work deeper into the fibers, the septus, to make it more sort of the circulation to come up. It's all about getting circulation up. Again, same for the face. I would really say go for full facials, not just target, but yeah, you want to really focus in on the zones like the eyes, or where you have that kind of sluggishness. But total bodies and face treatments will be more recommended. I was thinking about younger clients. They come in, they don't sleep well, their diet is here and there. So try and introduce your young clients to treatments like in the Infinity, we have the cellular prevention, or even in the Allianz, you can do just general kind of your 30-minute or even target zoned treatments as well. Yeah, just the last maybe a couple of topics.
Yeah.
We have a few minutes remaining.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so dull skin. So again, we're talking about the skin's looking dull because of the sluggish circulation, but generally it's dull because of dehydration. When the skin is dehydrated, it will always look dull, but it will also be that they haven't exfoliated enough, and that's where you need to tell them that they need to exfoliate, at least once or twice a week, depending on their skin. But if their skin is inflamed, we have to decide on what kind of exfoliator to use. But poor sleep and stress is going to impact on the skin. The skin will not repair as quickly as it would do if you weren't stressed. And if you're drinking a lot and you've got a poor diet, you're going to reduce the skin quality. So what does it look like? We said it lacks glow, uneven skin tone, makeup looks really patchy when you put it on. You just look tired and unrested, and you look grey, basically. So the products that I would recommend for a dull skin would definitely be the cleansing balm, like I said, because it's really soothing and nourishing. And then we've got two of the exfoliators that they could use: the exfoliating silky powder, which is much more gentle. So if they've got inflammation and their skin's really sensitive, start with that. And then they can move on to the exfoliating cream, which is more granular, and I would say better for a younger skin as well, to really help with any blackheads or anything. But by using it, you do definitely see that your skin looks brighter. The glowy products, I cannot tell you enough about the renewal products, because the renewal products, like I said, they have not just the exclusive complex, but they have the premium complex, which are much more anti-aging. And they really do have ingredients that are going to stimulate your collagen and elastin in the skin. And then the peel that we've talked about already, which is going to be your in-clinic treatment, which is going to give the client a bigger boost to the skin and remove those dead layers. And then for the body, I'd recommend the resurfacing body cream, because that's going to brighten the body, because it's got alpha hydroxy acids in it. And then we talked about omegas anyway, didn't we? We said that they contain 3, 6, and 9, really good combination of omegas that you need to nourish your body and to help with any kind of dehydration, and basically replenishing. Okay, so the only thing I want to say about the anti-aging renewal serum is that you've got 16% of the premium complex in the cream, but you've got 22% of the premium complex in the serum. So it is more active, and it's going to penetrate deeper. We know it's got high and low molecular weight hyaluronic acid as well. A fantastic serum that can be used after a peel as well.
Great. Again, I think for this kind of an issue, you would probably do any treatments that will increase microcirculation, improving the blood flow, detox, toxin removal from the cells, renewing cells, improving the skin quality. So a lot of the treatments will actually apply to help this symptom, I should say. Again, VSS will help with sleep, which will improve skin repair, which Smita mentioned earlier. And face treatments are the same. So again, increasing microcirculation, bringing radiance, the skin renewal treatment, give deep exfoliation. On the Allianz, we have the deep cleansing protocol. Again, any kind of drainage will bring back that immediate radiance and contour as well. And yeah, I'm just going to skip that one. I think lastly, you have the low energy. We may have to sort of skip through this a little bit faster.
Yeah.
Sorry
No
about
problem.
that.
Yeah, so no, that's fine. So what, low energy is coming from the fact that you're not eating properly, you're not drinking enough, you're not sleeping enough, you've got a high sugar intake, you're lots of alcohol, and you're not
Yes.
moving, and also stress, because basically during the holiday time, we're stressed before the Christmas and New Year to get everything ready, and then we're
Yeah.
stressed afterwards because we've got to go back to work and we've got to face
Yes.
reality. So this is happening. So you know how amazing endermology is for the nervous system. So bringing down those cortisol levels.
Yep. Right. You want to skip that,
Yeah.
or you want to
Yeah, we can just skip that because we
skip
know
that one?
what you see
Yeah.
with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
so
think it's a mixture.
yeah, so again, we with low energy, we need to be taking our collagen to boost and omegas and like I said, vitality boosters helps with the metabolism of your body, and it really helps with giving you that energy. Omegas is going to really hydrate your body, and collagen is going to help with your stimulating collagen and elastin. And we know it's marine collagen for collagen 1, which helps with nails, skin, and hair.
Lovely. And yeah, for treatments, you just want to boost the circulation, improve oxygen delivery, stimulate the cells. Of course, you want to get that lymphatic flow going just to help the client feel lighter, fresh, and more energized. So a plethora of treatments there, but of course, you always kind of go back to the same kind of wellness protocols. But you can do any of the endermology protocols to get that energy back into to the cells and the whole body. I'm going to skip this through. I think disrupted routine is your next final one, but maybe we may need to stop soon as it's just gone past 12, but maybe just touch base on that, Smita.
Yeah, just really to say that you haven't got a routine like when you after the holidays, you need to get back into your routine. And so something like doing a course of treatments will really help, because you're getting yourself back, going to the gym, taking your walks, start your collagen again, and just basically looking after yourself. That's what you need to be doing.
100%. That's great. I think we've reached the end of our webinar. Thank you so much, Smita. We'd like to take some questions if you have any. So you're very welcome to open your mics, and you're very welcome to speak and ask us questions if you can. That'll be great.
I think was it Maria who was asking?
Yeah, Maria asked a few questions. So Maria, do you have any? You were asking about the peel, was it?
Basically, I normally, when I cleanse, I put a peel on, then I steam and I extract, then I do massage, then I do the LPG, and then I put a mask on. But I think you were saying it's best to do the peel at the end and then put the mask on. Is that right?
Yeah, I think So I would always start off with the LPG first, because you're kind of preparing the tissues for the treatment. So I would always do that first. And because what we're talking about is skin inflammation and sluggish skin and dehydration, I wouldn't necessarily steam, because with the peel you don't really need to steam. I would probably steam if you were using like the scrub that they have, but not necessarily with the peel, because you don't need to do that. And I'm wondering whether the water on the peel will make it less effective, like the steam coming. So I wouldn't necessarily do that.
Yeah.
But because we're talking about dehydration, we're trying to kind of put back water into the skin. So probably not necessarily to do that, to do the steam.
Okay.
And they're very lucky to get a facial massage from you, as well as the facial massage from the LPG.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Was there any other questions at all? Do you have anything you wanted to ask, or any comments?
Esther,
Yes.
hi, it's Marine.
Oh, hi, Marine.
I just want to ask, I have, I do LPG, and then after LPG, I do laser, like lifting. I want to ask, if I do the peeling program, then I can do laser afterwards or not? No.
No.
Too much, wouldn't it?
Okay. All right. Now, I just wanted to make sure if I can do laser afterwards.
Yeah, because the skin, yeah, Smita. Yeah.
Oh no, sorry, it's because your skin's really vulnerable after, after a peel, you've taken the dead layers off, so you wouldn't combine both. So if you want to do the LPG first to get the tissues prepared, and then you would do the laser. But I wouldn't, or you could do them on different days, but I wouldn't, laser is kind of causing a slight trauma to the skin, so the skin will be too vulnerable if you
Okay.
use a peel.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maureen. Any other questions, ladies? Or maybe a gentleman, I'm not sure. Lovely. I think maybe that's it. So we want to thank you so much for joining us for this special skincare masterclass. And you'll be seeing more and more of Smita. She's our UK ambassador for our skincare. So we will be doing in-house training as well on the signature training. You'll hear more about that soon. So please come and join us to really try the products out. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact us. So thank you for joining. Have a lovely rest of the week and rest of the day as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thanks,
And please
Smita.
try the products because they are absolutely wonderful. Really, really, try them because I've been a facialist for a long time and I'm really loving the products.
Thank you so much,
Okay.
Smita. You're an inspiration. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to all. Thank
Can
you very much.
Bye.
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 Can I?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
No, I was just going to say, is this on the tablet as well? What you've done today, what you've covered?
It will be on. You mean the seminar, the webinar?
Yeah, yeah.
It will. We will put it on YouTube, on LPG YouTube, and also on LPG for you. We'll put this up as well.
Okay, thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome,
Thank you.
Maria. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.